Hello, it's Ron from Ron's Garage. Right now in Ron's patio enclosure. Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit today about my collection of Conn Constellation trombones. I posted something recently on my Facebook page, and I wanted to put something up here on YouTube as well. Over the last several years, I've managed to collect all three of the Conn Constellations. Their numbering goes 28H, 38H, and 48H. And each one is very unique, but at the time that they were made, they were considered the top of the line professional trombone. So I wanted to show you a little picture here I got up on my computer. So here it is. Let's see, I got a little glare here. But you can see the 28H, it's a 482 bore, small bore trombone. And they have those really cool little, I guess I call them cigar shaped or sausage shaped counterweights, which carried over to the 38H design, but the 38H was a 500 bore with a 7.5-inch bell. Actually, the 28 and 38 both had 7.5-inch bells. And then we go to the 48H, which didn't have those counterweights any longer. But what made the 48H unique is it had this great bell. It was brass in the substrate, then it was coated with copper, and then the copper was coated with nickel, and then the nickel was coated with an enamel baked on lacquer. So it's like a 4-layer trombone bell, which was designed for power and intensity. You could put a lot of air through that horn. It's not going to buzz or fuzz out on you. It's literally made for some intense big band playing, and I would dare to say, some intense college band playing. But it also came with a very lightweight slide, which the other two did not. So it was really designed for high, fast, and loud. It was a tremendous instrument. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, don't worry about my eyes wandering all over the place, I'm looking at my computer right here, about each of these trombones and their unique characteristics. Let me see, I had something up here. So let's look at this right here. This is off of the Conn, what is it, I think this is called the Conn Loyalist page. But this one's about the 28H Constellation. And let me kind of read it to you right here. It said in 1950, the name Constellation reserved for the top-of-the-line models. The 28H Constellation was built between 1949 and 1951. It had a 484 bore, and what they said in 1951, what Conn said was it's a big, powerful tone from this medium bore Constellation. That's what they called medium bore back then, but now we call it, small bore. Sounds as if it could be from a large bore trombone, and that is true. I've played this many times. It really is a big sound, kind of like the Berkels, the dual bores, but this is a single bore. Here's a genuine medium bore effort with truly large bore results, the true trombone tone quality. And although tone is powerful, it's also bright and solid with just the right amount of cutting quality, and you'll say it's the finest trombone you ever heard. Free blowing, scale, it's smooth, wonderful high range performance, fastest action on any trombone, and a solid low register. I'm paraphrasing here because it's a lot to read. So that's the 28H, which is the smaller one. Now, the other one we're looking at is the 38H. So the 38H, interesting little picture of it. You saw it, the ones that I posted. So let's see what we say here. Before the well-known 48H, between 1954 and 1956, Conn made the 38H Constellation. And again, it was only 2 years. You don't come across them very frequently, hence perhaps somewhat unusual background in the picture. The 38H was brass with nickel trim and a 500 bore, which was the same as the 48. And in 1956, Conn said, a triumph in design and engineering, the new Constellation trombone features lightweight crisp steel air float slides with integrally drawn stockings for consistent, fast, smooth, dependable action. And outside slides are of the special formula brass alloy. Built-in brace balancer and especially formed cast braces add to the beauty as well as the comfort in handling the horn. So medium large bore offers plenty of power and volume, easily controlled down to soft whisper, and tonal quality from sweet to brilliant. So highly polished brass, attractive durable nickel plating, and clear lacquer overall. And I have some pictures I put up here. Let me see if I can find those real quick. So here's these. You can find this on Facebook. I posted it in the Conn Aficionado website, but you can see the left column here is going to be the 28H. The right column here is going to be the 38H, center column I mean, and the far right column is going to be the 48H. And I do talk about what these each do over here on the right under my name. Okay, so the bore size, the bell diameter, and then the characteristic of the 48H bell. So they're really spectacular horns. Now going on, that's the 38H again, which was a tough one to get because it was only made for 2 years. Then we're going to go over here to the 48H. And this one says the name again, Constellations reserved for the top line models, 500 bore, produced between 1956 through at least 1983. So a much longer duration of production on this horn because it's really a masterful instrument. I still love playing it. People like the 6H. This is kind of like the 6H on steroids because of that great bell and the lightweight slide. It just makes it a real pleasure to play. So, and it says here, the issue with the bell is made of is that it's there has been quite a bit of suggestion that certain serial numbers of Constellation have a Coprion bell. Well, the truth is that the Coprion was right over the brass. So let's see what it says here. So says, I have also been contacted by a professional trombone player who say in the 1960s he read that the Electro D bell is yellow brass, heavily copper plated, and then nickel plated, and then lacquered. That could explain the diversity in reports of copper, non-copper bells. It would depend on the amount of wear to the bell. So sounds very plausible. It's the truth. I mean, I've heard it from many sources. I've talked to many people who've owned this horn, and they will attest that it is a 4-plated bell. So Conn said in 1959, modern advanced design includes the finest of all trombone features. Special bell taper balanced with mouth pipe gives resonant but powerful tone that is brilliant because of the straight bore, mellow with an 8-inch bell flare. So lightweight air float slides, balanced tone column, special forecast braces, Electro D bell, P27 special formula outside slides, perfect balance for comfort, and the luster and luster con protected. So yeah, the Electro D bell, nickel silver brass trim, 500 bore, 8-inch bell, really, you know, dynamic, fast, and dependable. It's really a pleasure to play, and I've played all three. Somebody could say, which one do you like the best? Well, you know, the 482 bore is kind of nice for an upper register. The 38H, much like a 6H, except I find it a little more substantial, a little heavier to the touch and feel, a little more, well, just substantial. You know, it feels like a thicker horn, so it feels like a 6H, except, you know, bodybuilder style, you know, a little heavier, heftier. And then you get to the 48H, and it's just really a superior advance in the technology for that day. And I've played the 40H many, many, many times in a lot of different situations, and it is really just a monster. It's just it's like the Humvee of Conn 500 bore trombones. And you know, some people get rid of them, and you know, I got my 6H, I got my 100H, but you know, I've played all those. They're very unique in their own way. I'm not going to say they're better or worse, but the 48H is probably singly, in my opinion, next to the Berkel 32H and the 30H. Being those dual bores with the really large distance between the bores on the upper and lower slides. This one is very unique just in its construction and the way it was built. It's just a fantastic horn. Anyway, so just wanted to touch base and kind of follow up with the three constellations. And again, the 38H is a tough one to get. It's only made for 2 years. I got really lucky with another collector who said I've got one, but it's missing some stuff. And then he helped me locate the replacement parts and sold it to me for a killer deal. And I couldn't be any happier. They're all very incredible horns. And I'll do some more in the future. I've got a line of Reynolds. I've got some Holtons. I've got some Getzens. Just got some neat horns in my collection that I think everybody would be interested in seeing. And some really cool things, too, in terms of the student line. So we'll be talking about that relatively soon, too. Anyway, signing off for right now. Thanks a lot for watching. the Conn Constellation line of three 28H, 38H, and 48H spectacular trombones. Give them a try if you get a chance. Okay? Bye-bye.